there, my name's Isabella. I'm 26, and I've kind of been in nerd culture since do you count Pokemon, you know? Because then it's like since you were 5.
Yeah, well, to be clear, Pokemon came out while I was in college. That's how old I am. So, are you in cosplay?
No, I'm actually in, it's this really cool Japanese street fashion called Lolita. I'm actually in the boy style called OG Fashion. It's out of Harajuku. My 2 lovely roommates are in Lolita proper. Mm-hmm. It's based on Rococo fashion from the France time, and it's all about like embracing femininity without embracing sexuality.
Interesting. And how'd you get into this?
Well,
that's part of the discussion, right?
My 2 wonderful roommates over there, I feel like we've really rubbed off on each other. We met in college, and they were really into Lolita because back in the day, they really wanted to wear pretty fancy stuff.
Well, I wanted to be a princess, right?
Yeah.
I was a young child, and I was like, okay, cool. So you never get too old to
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
super girly.
Oh yeah, and so around the same time, I was super into cosplay, but I didn't want to wear cosplay every day at a convention because a lot of the stuff we build, it was just so heavy. And what we end up doing is instead we wear Lolita when we aren't competing. Mm-hmm. And so we ended up really embracing Lolita and OG and cosplay at the same time.
Cool.
Tell your anime stories. Sorry, this is during quarantine. That was the first time I really started watching anime because we had nothing to do as a family, and we were all trapped in the house together.
Yeah. Because I guess it all starts when I was a little girl. I'd watch Saturday morning cartoons, like I'm sure a lot of folks do. And then I watched them all the way until I was 12 years old. And then my dad came into the room and he's like, honey, I think you're a little too old to be watching Pokemon. And
No such thing.
He was wrong. I recently watched, what was it? It was so sad. Sun and Moon. Yeah. And I just cried. Just straight up cried. But my dad, he looks at me and he's like, honey, you're too old to be watching Pokemon. He's like, come here, sweetie. We're going to go watch, I believe it was Inuyasha, Full Metal Alchemist, and Witchblade. He's like, because that's an appropriate thing to show your 12-year-old daughter. And I was like, okay, got an early introduction into physical physics. And I just never looked back.
Wow. Well, 12 years old, too old for Pokemon? Nonsense.
No.
Nonsense.
But you know what you're not too old for? A lot of scantily clad women fighting each other. And I was like, okay, Dad, cool. My mom walked in one time and, oh my God, her eyes got so wide. And she's like, Jim, what are you showing our daughter? And she's like, she looked horrified. And my dad's like, don't worry, honey, there's not nipples.
Listen to this and much more on This Podcast is Uncalled For. Available now wherever you podcast.